Increase it. You've kept it at 0. Angus Bloxham will have a big role to play with a bat in hand once again. The player of the match in the last game. Along with him is Collingwood. 27 for 2 after 7 overs.
Yeah, thanks to us. He's just about to find. He's finding his feet too now. He a little slow early, but now he's starting to find the middle of the bat, and you can just see him gaining confidence and building momentum in his innings with every ball. 2 for 22. They were the Mavericks after their 5 overs. 2 for 27 now. And as I say, starting to build. Bloxham starting to hit the middle of the bat. Collingwood. There's a famous AFL football name, team name, Collingwood. But we're in New South Wales, everybody, in a beautiful location called Wollongong. Right on the east coast of Australia. A backdrop of mountains. Very similar. Suas and I have decided very similar to Cape Town. One of the beautiful parts of the world. We're only about 400 metres from the beach. And at the moment, conditions are ideal. Beautiful seeing conditions. Not much breeze, not much, but all looking good.
It's the same venue, but a different mood of the weather.
Sure
Every
has.
game is being played in different light. It'll help Bloxham to complete that single easily because the point of interception was so far outside that crease ahead.
And we've now had the fielding restrictions lifted and 4 fielders inside the circle. Deep long on, long off, deep cover, deep square leg.
Second round would have been tough anyway.
Would have been tough, but I also think Bloxham was saying, I'll take a little piece of this one, thank you. Eyeing off some big boundaries at this stage of the innings. 7 overs gone, 2 for 29.
He's got the flair of Jesse Ryder. Such good eye coordination.
Finds the square leg sweeper, beg your pardon, the cover sweeper for the left-hander. And deep fine leg coming up into the circle and deep third man dropping back, suggesting an outside off stump line.
Oh, right in the block hole.
I love this action. If he was bowling off the wrong foot, it'd be identical to a bowler called Mike Proctor. Great South African bowler. We've got that windmill action, that whippy windmill action. Similar to also another older player called Max Walker used to bowl like this. Nice single there. 2 for 31 now. Collingwood 11, Bloxham 16, and you've just got a feeling that it's going to go one way or another here for Bloxham. About to launch, increase the risk profile of his batting.
Seven overs gone, 32 for 2.
So just over at 4 runs and over here, you've got to give the game to the moment as well. in the Kangaroos corner managed to keep the strike rate down to a very manageable total of 2 for 32. Wickets in hand for the Mavericks, and their number one player at the crease blocks them. Man of the match in yesterday's game.
Oh, this is miscued. And it's covered a long way as he completed the catch. Oh! The harder part was to get there, which he did.
You're right, Suas. He got there. He made all the ground required, but sometimes running in at that pace, it hits your hands a little harder, and out it popped. Life for Bloxham.
I really want the life insurance that Bloxham's got rid. Yesterday the catch was put down, the runouts were missed when he was batting. Went on to get a half century, gets the player of the match as well. Absolutely ice cool in difficult situations.
Fortune favours the brave sometimes. He didn't quite get that. Had he got it, it would have gone straight down his throat, probably. It would have been easily caught, but mishit it. Only just made it over the inner circle, and that's a big moment in the game. Don't you go through, sometimes as a batter you go through those little purple patches where it does run for you. Not often enough in my case, but anyway, now he pats it down for one and he's in control. Left-hander Collingwood comes on to strike, 12 runs. 2 for 37 now. Nice bowling by the leg spinner.
This should be taken. A simpler catch per se.
There's to my point, a simpler catch. You're so right. He hit it right in the middle, but right at the fielder. He hardly had to move. Could soften his hands. And he takes the catch. And that's the vagrancies of batting. Rewarded earlier on, Bloxham with a mishit. No reward for Collingwood. Right in the middle, but straight to the long off fielder. Third wicket down now for the Mavericks. Talking to their coach earlier, Suas, Dave Taylor, who has the great honour of scoring 300 in a first-class game.
Marvellous.
The coach of the Mavericks. Played county cricket, scored 300. 30-something, ridiculous number of sixes. I think it was 30-odd sixes.
30-odd sixes. Just imagine the kind of
that
carnage he would have created had he batted in the T20 era.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was one of the limit over games. I don't think, obviously not T20, obviously not. Might have been a 50-over game, county game over there. But he said these days in terms of winning the toss, he said, this is very interesting. I don't play to the conditions, we play to our strengths. And I said, what do you mean by that? He said, well, if I think we're good at setting a total, let's go out and bat. Whether we win the, if we win the toss, let's go out and bat. But if we think we're a good chasing team, then send them in.
Irrespective of the conditions on that particular day?
No, don't even worry about the conditions. He's saying, we would rather play to our strength. So even if, I suppose the conditions aren't such a big issue with the T20 because they don't vary a great deal between two innings, but he said when we play we decide our strength, and if our strength is to post a total, we'll bat. Yeah, interesting.
Self-belief before surface assessment. Confidence before conditions.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, let's play to that strength. So That's one thing that these new formats certainly brought to cricket, where you can start looking at the game in a totally different way. It was always, the wicket was doing something, let's bowl first, but then now they start just thinking about the game differently, which has got to be a positive.
He's batting outside the crease. Blocks him. He hasn't hit it too well, and that's perhaps the reason he's still out there. You can't say that because people have been dropping his catches. Not deliberately, of course, but one of the luckiest, per se, is blocks him.
Do you know, in Marnus Labuschagne's first 25 tests, he was dropped over 20 times? Sometimes batters just go through these really lucky patches and it can make a huge difference. And he's at the moment, you're right, Suhas, he's just mishitting when he needs to and connecting also when he needs to.
There's been a change of the ball as well, if I'm not wrong.
No leg by. I thought that might have been a leg by. So we're getting towards the middle of the innings. Yesterday, totals of 140. A super over. And some nice bowling there. No width. No ability to get in under the ball, to lift it over the boundary. Just a push off his legs. Punch for one. 3 for 40.
Oh, that's a very good area. The second run was tighter than expected, but still gets there.
Yeah, the little legs there of Chitan had to really motor there at the end. Got in safely in the end, so nice piece of fielding. 2 runs.
The Chetan Bloxham combo even yesterday pushed their team towards victory. Was unable to get it at that point in time, basically. Eventually became a super over clash. But as they were chasing a target, it was this particular partnership that helped them.
Massive space there on the onside. Deep mid-wicket, deep backward square, a fine leg. Should be 2 every time there if he strays leg.
So what I mean to say is, Grant, if these two understand each other really well, that's exactly why even tight singles are being taken, ones are being converted into 2. There's a lot more trust factor.
Wide ball. He's lucky to get away with that because that could have easily been paddled around into that space. Been more than one, but a re-bowl required. Down leg.
He's a very compact cricketer, Chetan.
He's a compact cricketer. He would have loved to just get a little bit of bat on that down leg. He'd be saying to himself, missed opportunity there. Let's bat on ball. Work it down fine.
Outside edge.
The umpires are going to confer here because the keeper... They're not live, I'm not sure. So that's what you'll call. What do you do with this? If in doubt, it goes to the batters. Now they're starting to high five. Do the umpires take any notice of that? He's not sure. They're conferring. Sometimes the keeper may not even be sure.
And I think it's one such
and
moment.
Often, that's going to be not out, I would say. Let's see what the officiating umpire comes back. He believes he's dived forward and he feels like he's motioning that the hands were face downwards, which means that no.
There's no question of that being an edge or no. There was an edge. The decision of the umpire.
Hey, what's Bloxham doing here?
I think that's being delayed right now because he's discussing if the catch has been taken cleanly or no. As you rightly pointed out, Grant, there are moments when you dive forward as a keeper and you don't know if the ball landed on the full. Looks like he's given him.
Yeah, I am a little bit confused because why are they both walking out? Or is he coming out to see the incoming batsman Bloxham? He's walking off with Chetan. The innings, and that's the reason why they are both walking off, and it's all academic because it doesn't change the score, and I didn't see the finger go up, so I would say that they've given that as a not out. They're going for drinks.
Now both teams have decided to treat the drinks break as an end of a session. If they go back to their tents, discuss strategies, less water, more messages.
And the $64,000 question is, will Chetan return? I'm pretty sure I didn't see the finger go up, so I'd say he's going to return. He hasn't taken his pads off, or has he?
Now it depends on who's going to take the pads off first. Yes. He's sort of... I think Bloxham's returning.
Yeah, well, certainly Bloxham's not in question because he was the non-striker. He may have had a view on whether it was taken cleanly or not.
I tell you what, Bloxham became the first one to take the pads off. Now he's worn it again.
There does seem to be a little bit of confusion. Seven is doing some running practice. He's got bat in hand. Meanwhile, the Kangaroos make their way back out to the field. Bloxham gets up. And he's
supercharged to be out there.
He's sprinting. That's the quickest block I've seen Bloxham move today. And Chetan, he is going back out to bat. So, okay, we've cleared everything up. End of the over. The players took a drinks break. Chetan moves to the non-striker's end. And Bloxham's fired up to get out there and go again for this second over. So, at the end of 10, they need to fire up a little bit, I've got to say, because 3 for 43 at 4.3 is a little under par. Well, it's well under par. So, accelerator. We need to be hitting the accelerator. And it won't be long before man of the match from yesterday, Bloxham, unleashes.
Should get to. Fresh off a drinks break. Second runs taken. Good running between the wickets.
Yeah, you'd like to think that if you can measure your shot out there, there's going to be 2 in that every time. Just look for any drift or height and he'll go. Getting some nice bounce and kick from this good wicket. Nice bowling, pressure building, 11th into the 11th over. Mavericks needing to hit the accelerator. Bowling again, Bloxham looks to use his feet.
And then he parried backwards.
He parried backwards very quickly. See what the bowler does here, flight. Well bowled. Okay, right-hander comes on to strike.
It's not a very common sight for Bloxham to play with soft hands. It's not something that he did yesterday. Yesterday he had no mercy on the cricket ball.
So I'm giving a points decision there to the bowler. Chetton on strike. Well and truly playing an anchor role here at 3.
Very good length.
Yes, that was a very good length. Just checking, is that 6 gone? 1 to go. Keeper just snatching at that one a little. Just let the ball come into your gloves. No, it is called over. Maybe a little miscount there by the umpire. And that's over. End of the 11th. And there were only 3 off it. Very good piece of bowling. So we'd have to say that the Aussie Kangaroos are well on top here. Mavericks just finding it hard to get the bowling away. Combination of is making it really difficult for the Mavericks to get any momentum going after that short break.
I think the time has come for Bloxham to blossom. Bigger shots, much awaited. The conviction with which, even if he picks up a single, the conviction with which he's hit that ball, everything augurs well for the Kangaroos.
Plenty of conviction, but you also think the way Chetton's striking at the moment, maybe it's better to give him one and get Chetton back down on strike. Now, I'd like to be wrong here. I'd like to see Chetton unleash, open the shoulders and go, because at the moment he's actually holding things up for the Mavericks. Maybe need to, if I was, I know this sounds a little harsh, but if I was the Kangaroos, I'd want Chetton to stay there at the moment. But I hope I'm wrong, because he could just about open those shoulders and let get going.
Oh, that's in the gap. Work to do for the fielder in the deep. Gets around it. That's a superb stop. Running full tilt.
And I'm happy with that because it was a nice cricket shot into a nice gap. 2 runs. You get 2 runs every shot. Run rate is looking healthy at 12 and over. So Chetton looking for those gaps again. No, Chetton, come on. Let's hit those gaps. It's a straight ball. Let's find a gap. Get your mate down on strike. Who's the big hitter? Just a little bit of further thinking about how we can craft runs. That's better. Nice punch away from the fielder. Deep and on. Comes in. 1 run. Brings the big hitting. Blocks him. Man of the match from yesterday's game on strike. Just checking they've got 4 fielders inside the circle. And there it is.
And that ball was never to be seen again. That's how you finish the story.
Yes, that not only went over the inside ring, that actually went over the white picket fence, which is a long hit. There it is, umpire signalling 6. Good hit, good shot.
This is what Bloxham can do. A lot of damage. His eyes went agog as soon as he saw that in his wheelhouse.
Only had to be dragged down a little, and there it went. 27 now for Bloxham. Chetton on 6. It all came because Chetton found a gap, got his mate down on strike. Bloxham.
Bloxham is done blocking. Very eventful over. And that's for the Kangaroos. 56 for 3.
So the upside for the Mavericks is that they still have 7 wickets in hand. So there comes a decision to be made here that with 8 overs to go, and well, let's say of those 7 at least 3 or 4 are batters.
Our producer Paddy. He's very popular with kids anyways.
Very popular full stop, isn't he, Paddy? Very good man. Good producer. And we've got a leggy coming into the attack.
I'll tell you what, ACL under 19, ACL in general, as we cover more tournaments than this under the same banner, it's also become a place for the families to meet each other, and becomes a beautiful event when you add that layer as well.
Oh, definitely, and well done, Chetton. Gets Bloxham on strike. He's starting to find the middle of his bat. Going around the wicket now. All the protection on the onside, only 1 person inside the circle. Darts it in. Good bowling, get him off strike, settling for 1.
Raj is quite content giving away that single. Now that Bloxham is at the non-striker's end, and there's little damage Bloxham can do at the non-striker's end.
Let's see what he's doing. He's plenty of protection as usual on the leg side. The shorter boundary today on the leg stump.
Fabulous stop. A little bit of a pressure on Chetan, I believe, because this is also the time you need to push, convert those singles reduce the dot ball percentage. The middle overs, such a crucial phase in the game. The less attractive phase, but a crucial phase.
So let's have a look. Last time, second last ball, he got the single and the ball went for 6 the next ball because Bloxham was on strike. The sense that that's trying to do that again. Push. Maybe we still have a ball, yep. So either Bloxham looks to get on strike so he can get the early balls next over, or he goes for the big hit, push, and 1.
The fielding effort today has been good, even though a catch was put down. But the fact that you even call it a catch is because he was running full tilt. 60 for 3 after 13.
Yeah, so after 10 overs, 3 for 43. After 13 overs, 3 for 60. So just over 5, sort of around that 6 runs and over since that mini break that we had at the 10 over mark. But you've just got a feeling that they're a long way short at the moment. So at 10 and over, takes them to 130. And they're kind of got to be looking at that with wickets in hand. 130 now to make the total competitive. Bloxham threw his hands at that. Didn't quite get it, but it beat the field down for 2. And it's now getting to press button stage. For the Mavericks, most of whom come from the Perth state of Western Australia, city of Perth. Dave Taylor, the coach. Oh, well, that was amazing, wasn't it? That was what we call like a forearm jolt, where he just sort of threw those big forearms at it, and he knew as soon as he hit it that was going for 6. What an eye.
The strike bowler coming back in the second spell, being invited like this, is something to worry about for the Mavericks. Bloxham threw the bat at it as soon as he saw that one in his slot. Mind you, the longer boundaries are the straighter ones. Doesn't seem to care, Bloxham.
Yeah, you're right there. He hasn't really, not that the bowling's especially allowed it, but he hasn't really looked to hit square. He's looked to hit long and straight has been his preferred attacking shot. So the Kangaroos load up this offside. Again, there's plenty of space there on leg, just behind, on and behind square. Single to Chetton, just playing this sheet anchor role. Getting Bloxham on strike more now, which is very required if the Mavericks are to post a big total. Just a single again. So nice disciplined bowling there by the Kangaroos. Bowling to their field. Bloxham now to 45, Chetton on 9. Chetton, 2 runs, nice chip over the infield there. On the onside, leaving Bloxham on strike.
73 for 3.
Approaching the 15 over mark. And no doubt Coach Taylor sending out a little message out there with the, as Bloxham is getting a little bit hot out there. Refueling with water and fresh gloves. And a message, no doubt, from Coach Taylor. Boys, it's time to go. 130, must have 130 in their sights.
Here is Raj. Just love the way he's cultivated the innings. Bloxham, a half century yesterday.
And 46 now, approaching another 50 today. Would have to be the leading run scorer for the tournament so far. Brings Chetton on strike. Slight field adjustment. Short bit on.
Using his feet, but realizing that blocking is a better option. Catcher is the call. Will take it on the bounce.
One run, but it was one run. And brings the big hitting. Blocks him back on strike on 46. One blow for another half century in this tournament.
Oh, that is hammered away. With that 6, will get his second half century. Back-to-back 50s for the man in form and for Mr. Dependable, Angus Bloxham.
Yeah, well done, good batting. Nice foundation now to really press the button. More big shots down the ground. Bloxham on 50, 3 for 81. Yes, they signal 6. Lovely timing. Long straight boundaries.
The hand-eye coordination of Bloxham has been such a treat to watch for any batting connoisseur. And the spinners have found out that the margin of error keeps on shrinking as he gets set. Chetan plays a similar shot in the similar area, but very cautiously. There's a sense of swag about him as well. There's some swag about Bloxham. The way he rests this bat on the shoulder, surveys the field. That is similar to Virender Sehwag.
And one of the features of his innings is his ability to play straight. And he plays straight through the line of the ball, which really reduces the risk of you getting out, not playing cross-bat shots. You don't, even when I've noticed, even when the ball's a little short and he could play a cross-bat shot, he still plays it down the ground. So it's really hard to get a player out that actually plays like that. 3 for 84, so they've gone from 3 for 43 after 10 overs to 3 for 84. So they've put on 41. So 8 and over. for that second set of 5. So that's certainly an uplift. So if they take another 8 and over, that's another 40. That takes them to 124, and that's close to the 130 that we feel is a minimum par score on this great oval. And very strong, very good wicket. Stops on his shot there, needed to. Stayed a little low. And it looks as though the spinner is looking to take as much pace off the ball as possible down the wicket, swinging. Good stop. Straight to the field of 1 run. It goes down as good bowling. Bowling to your field. It's a little bit of width. If I was the Kangaroos, and I notice he just does not play many square bat shots. I haven't seen him hit anything square of the wicket so far, Bloxham, but he's batted very well. There's a nice square of the wicket. Ball punch out to deep mid-wicket. They'll come back for 2, and they'll get those quite easily.
Chetan's been searching for the boundaries, but he's only finding fielders. Bloxham has been removing the fielders out of the equation.
So the first 5 overs, they were going at just over 4 and over. Then they doubled that to 8 and over. And now we're looking at a sprint to finish down the ground. Just the single out to deep cover.
I'll tell you what, today Bloxham has run a lot of singles. It's just that he didn't hit them.
You're dead right.
Ethan's been converting singles into 2s and hitting more singles.
And here's another single. Nope.
Rare side.
A Bloxham single. Now moves to 56. And what a nice innings it's been. Had that chance early on. The man running in full pelt from long off. And Chetan, that's a lovely shot. Lovely sweep shot. Plenty of space on the onside. Retains the strike. Calls for gloves. Would be hot out there.
90 for 3. 4 more overs to go. Wickets in hand. And expect a big finish.
Wickets in hand, it can expect a big finish for sure. 90 for 3.
Now the conversation between the batters, I'd say one would be saying, I'm going, I've got to go, and Bloxham, that'll be the man, with only a couple of overs left. And Chattenham, if maybe now it's best for his side if he can bat out the innings, continue to pick up 2s, ideally, pick up the odd boundary, but give your mate Bloxham permission to really go hard at the bowling now and take a few more risks. 130, got to be the target. 124, well within sight at 8 and over. Down the ground, over the top. That should just about run away for 4, and it does. That's maybe confirms the conversation. Maybe we're both going to go. With plenty of wickets in hand, I'd say that's really smart thinking. Let's both go. No need for an anchor anymore. That's over the top of that gully fieldsman inside the circle and down for 4. Using his feet, Chetan. 21 now. And again, he can hit a big shot straight over, did mid-wicket for 6. And he punches the air, punches the glove or blocks him. Be very happy with that. 130 as a total, well within range now. 4 and 6 the last 2 balls. Cheltenham using the crease. The bowler, I think the bowler just needs to keep the ball up in block hole territory, not drop short. A nice play, Cheltenham. Well done. 4, 6, 1. Blocks him on strike. 3 for 101 the score now. Blocks him on 56. Cheltenham 28. Blocks him. Eyeing off the opportunities. Kangaroos. Down the ground. Kangaroos total 3 for 101. Outside off stump, swing and a miss. Not called wide. Cheltenham. .28 now.
That's placed really well. Much needed boundary for Chetan. He continued to toil through a phase where he thought the boundary ropes were too far away. Not anymore.
And he's just hit at that little purple patch. What a lovely over. Took most of the strike on that over. Kangaroos. 3 for 106 now. I was going off the scoreboard thinking that that's the Mavericks going off the scoreboard.
Yeah.
And weren't the yellow team the Mavericks like the older guys?
No, this one, the fielding team is the Mavericks.
Yeah.
And the Kangaroos are batting.
But you know what the older guys, wasn't the white yellow team?
No, even they were wearing the similar color.
Same one.
Yeah, same one, but the yellow was similar. Yeah. I even
So after 17 overs, 3 for 106, the Aussie Kangaroos, Dave Taylor's team. Really have timed their run quite nicely here. 3 overs, 3 8 to 24, so that would take them to that 130 that we've been talking about. Even 140 possibly in their sights.
With the kind of batting attack that Mavericks have, they'll be happy if they can restrict the opposition within 130.
It's given a wide. Yeah, we are thinking that 130 is sort of minimum pard, aren't we?
And not just that, it's also a must-win game for the Mavericks. Unless they would want to rely on other teams, which they Of course, wouldn't want to. Fine legs inside the circle. Third man has to drop back. Yes. Point in place. And a man in front to square in the deep. Good adjustment. There was a sound, but I think it was the bat hitting the ground. White ball signalled.
And the umpire agrees, Suresh. Yes. No bat and a wide. The Kangaroos. Plenty of wickets in hand.
Oh, this should be taken. Man settling underneath it. And he puts it down. Butterfingers for Mavericks.
Only thing I can think of that probably was going into the western sun, but just having to move slightly outside the circle. That's another let off for the Kangaroos. And Bloxham, who hasn't had much of the strike. Chetten's been pretty much in control. Now gets a chance. Deep fine leg comes up. And Bloxham, who hasn't seen much of the strike, pads one away for a single and brings the now informed Chetten on strike. He's batted beautifully the last couple of overs. He's now raced to 33.
Oh, that'll travel for 4. Takes the short ball on and starts to prosper Chetan. Love this shot. And also the fact that he is able to read length early.
Kangaroos 3 for 115. Chet now on 37. May even peel off a 50 of his own. And this is where the Mavericks just need to try and keep things a little tighter. And they're getting wayward. They are definitely getting wayward. It's because of this very good batting now. Chetten's found another gear, which has been great to watch. And Bloxham, well, he's been a sort of a observer down the other end, just wanting to get on strike, and then it's almost roles have been reversed where he's picking up the single.
Such a confident looking stroke. This partnership has bloomed and blossomed. The 38 runs that Chetan has scored, very contrasting in style compared to Bloxham. But two cricketers who have complemented each other really well. Learning from their mistakes now, the Mavericks, especially for Bloxham, keeping a very straight long on.
Yeah, you're dead right. If I were the other teams in the competition, I'd be saying Block's a very good player, but he's very strong straight, doesn't really go square much. Well, not that I've seen so far.
Oh, beautifully played. Oh, excellently fielded too. And the fact that he gets rid of the ball quickly. Captain setting an example. 119 for 3.
And that was good cricket, because had he missed it, it was going for 4. And runs are very important. Both the restriction of them now for the Mavericks and the boundary. Very important for the Kangaroos. Three for 119. Well, you'd like to think with 2 overs to go that the 130's very attainable, or more than attainable now. It's going to require some excellent bowling and fielding to restrict below 130. But you'd also like to think 140 plus might be in the frame. Couple of lusty hits. Chet now well in form. He knew what he was doing. Stay there to the end and pick up plenty of runs.
.140 still on the cards. Good delivery. Outside off, even though he expected it to be full and wide. Unable to make contact, Chetan. And if a well-set batter like Chetan is unable to get it past the fielder at backward point, imagine how it would be for a new man in. This partnership, well, also had its own share of luck, but now it's got to continue towards until the end. Strap onto your seatbelts, it's Bloxham time.
Bloxham time, yeah, like it.
He's going to target the long on and long off fence. Fielders do not matter to him.
And not that I'm an advocate of bowling short at this stage of the game, but I'd just like to see him tested square of the wicket. They're dropping deep square leg out and they're bringing deep fine leg up. And the cover fieldsman's coming squarer more to a squarer cover. So I wonder if is thinking of maybe a short pitch ball.
Long off, oh well. There was a moment, a tiny moment when he thought he can convert that into a catch. But as we all know, Bloxham has packed his bag to come to Sydney with an insurance that nobody else has.
Just thinking Bloxham doesn't block him very often, does he? But he didn't quite get that, and he saved him in the end because it just didn't make its way to deep long off. So he's just had one of those day outs today. When he needs to miss-hit them, he does. When he wants to let go, he does as well. Let's see what happens square.
This should be taken. And this time, no mistake committed. The captain himself underneath it. That brings an end to Bloxham's blitzkrieg. 60 runs once again. 66 yesterday. But a similar innings under pressure. And he's given his team a respectable total.
And that's a fine innings. A fine double by Bloxham. 60. And he takes the applause of his team. And the crowd on hand here. Kangaroos, 4 for 122. And now it's time for see how much stride Chet can farm himself, because he's in form. He has the pace of the wicket. He has the eye of the ball. Eye of the tiger. He's not the Indian Tigers, is he? So that's another team. Apologise if I mentioned this team as the Mavericks a couple of times. Definitely the Kangaroos. Definitely coached by the highly credentialed and experienced and fine cricketer in Dave Taylor. Had some wonderful stories of their trips to Pakistan and India and recruiting some of these fine young under-19 players.
A superb stop. Every dot ball counts.
You're quite right, sir. Dot ball is like gold at this stage of the game. This is where you've got both teams saying we want them under 130 if you're the fielding side, and we want 140 if we're the batters.
With Angus Bloxham back in the hut, at least 20 runs are off the scoreboard there.
I saw a really great social media post yesterday. Fella's first ball in this competition, he hits it for 6, reverse hit it. That was fantastic, which is what is happening there.
It looks fantastic when it comes off, doesn't it?
It does. You're quite right. It's when it comes off. Now, could you help me with the pronunciation of number 7? Suarez
is a footballer who tries to bite other people's ear off. Suarez. Who can forget that?
Suarez. That sounds a bit like South American to me, Suarez. Is it Asian, Indian? No? No clue. You know I come to you for all that sort of important information, Chas, because you're my font of knowledge. Righto. We have the last over. And our left arm orthodox right hand, beg your pardon,
should be taken. No, in fact it was growing wings, and it has enough to clear the fence. Chetan's providing the finish they deserve. The Kangaroos are hopping past the 125 mark. Targets a similar region. Has to come back for the second. Very, very tough. Who gets there first? The dive, has it saved him? No, the finger is up.
Fine piece of fielding. Could have easily thrown that to the bowler's end, but he went to the keeper's end, and that's the end of what turned out to be a very fine innings. And he's disappointed because he wanted a 50, and he also wanted to see that through to the end. But in the end, we found out that he had a couple of gears there, first, second, third gear, and maybe even went to fourth when he had that explosive couple of overs of 4s and 6s. A fine innings. Taking them to 5 for 129. Still 4 balls remaining. Still a chance of getting that 140, which should be a nicely competitive total.
Still 11 away from the 140 mark. Within touching distance of the 130 mark. The Kangaroos. That was seriously quick. Change of ends seem to be working for Raj.
So the accelerator is well and truly pushed, because if they get close to this, they're 130 now. They've gone to nearly 9 and over in their last 5.
Oh, that was quick. But what's surprising is that the keeper knew that was going to be quick, but wasn't ready enough. 2 runs, a third is not there. By signaled.
Two buys.
So 132. How much more is it going to be? Yeah, good thinking. Knew that was going to be nice and quick. So the backlift wasn't that big. 2 more runs added to the tally.
Suarez and Hedges at the crease as well. 134. One clean blow would take them to 140.
Have they stolen a single here? They have! This is unbelievable. All that the bowler has done is bowled a delivery that's gone to the keeper as a spinner, and still a single has been stolen. Unbelievable.
I'm going as far as I've never seen that happen in cricket before in my life. You're quite right. They've taken a single to the keeper standing over the top to a spinner.
And it's a spinner who isn't too far in front trying to complete his follow through.
He may have got a little bit of a head start, I'm not sure. But Taylor is happy with that. You can see him fist pumping his batter. Good job, good thinking. That could be that one run could win them the game.
I think this should be a crime in cricket because this is how you steal a run. Unbelievable skill. This is second to none. So 135 is what the lighter yellow boys have managed, and Kangaroos have managed 135, and 136 required from Mavericks to stay in this competition.
Well, they surprised me because at one stage when they were 3 for 43 after 10, so that's 3 for 43 after 10. It's a good effort, isn't it? They've gone from that sort of 4 and over, and they've finished with a nice competitive total of 135. Now, 140 yesterday brought about a tie and a super over, the first we've seen in our tournament. So you'd like to think that with the Mavericks to come out and bat now, that it could be competitive total.
135 and it's game on. So 136 is the mission for the Mavericks. Will they be able to get there? The reply coming up in a moment's time. Stay with us.
Not sure what's happening here, Suash, and it's actually moving and asking for some assistance. It may be something to do with foot marks. He's gesticulating here. I'm not sure what's happening. Can you get a line on this? No, that's we're none the wiser, but our manager Harry is getting involved. Anyway, play on. And with that, the Sydney Mavericks run chase is underway. 136. Great performance by Bloxham. Another 60, 65, Chetton 46. Desi and Singh, the two batters for the Mavericks. Who's your money on, Suash? Have you got a feel for who might win this one?
It's a must-win game for the Mavericks. You would hope that the law of averages will start to catch up in a better way. Mavericks can eke out a win at this stage. The Kangaroos are not going to make that easy. They have what it takes as well. They've just fought through a super over to be here.
Swing and a miss. And good pace. Keeper standing well back. Most of these Kangaroo players, as I mentioned earlier, are from the state of Western Australia, city of Perth. I did meet one of my Brisbane people. He's played for the Toombul Club in Brisbane. Played both first grade and second grade last season. Good line, good start. None for three. Two extras, couple of extras. Dug in there, nice steeple bounce. We're coming to you live from Wollongong, New South Wales. Southern coast. We've got the beach only about 400 metres away. Beautiful part of the world. Mountains shadowing the ground. Looks very much like Cape Town. Very picturesque. And that's a top edge six. Great finish. Didn't quite get it, but didn't have to. With the bounce and the pace, that was enough to clear the boundary. And what turned out to be a good over for the Kangaroos, none for nine.
An over that was going according to plan as far as the Kangaroos were concerned. Suddenly, the short ball gets taken on. And that is a glorious shot.
Yeah, it's he tried a couple of short balls earlier and he got away with them. So I think he thought, right, I found a weak spot here, but the top edge was enough to go for 6. Desai and Singh, the two batters for the Mavericks.
Shot. Take it away.
Yep, that didn't need a lot of work. It was short outside off. Obviously not the start the bowler was looking for, but a very controlled shot over the midfield. The circle, down for 4. So some more protection coming to the offside.
In the air for a brief moment, but no problem. And also they pick up a single there. This is good running between the wickets.
So the intention's clear from the Kangaroos. They're looking to attack. They've got a slip. They're looking for early wickets. Let's get them on the back foot. A combination of early wickets while they leak a few runs. None for 14, and we're just into the second over. Yeah, we've got a pretty good battle going on out there at the moment. It's shorter pitch bowling than we've seen all day today by the Kangaroos. Both Desai and Singh, both on 6. And the two fielders out, deep fine leg and deep third man, which would support this shorter pitch bowling at the moment by the Kangaroos. It's gone down fine. Just the single. Nice controlled shot down a fine leg. In beautiful conditions now. This has been the best time of the day. 4:25 here, Sydney time. Dab, run, good single, rotating the strike. Nice control here by the Mavericks, both Desai and Singh, both on 7. No wicket now for 16. A nice comeback here by the Kangaroos. Bowler, just no width. Slashes over the top, down to Desai, it's out! There's the wicket, that's the wicket that the Kangaroos have been looking for. Slashing outside off stump, clears the infield but goes down. I'm pretty sure that's Chetton. The player that batted so well for the Kangaroos, and that's the first wicket for the Mavericks, 1 for 16. Yes, a little bit of width. Slashing outside off stump, and would have much preferred to have gotten that cleanly and square. But he found the fielder a deep third man, and that's a nice takedown there by Chetton. Running in, little bobble. But there's a first wicket. So only just into the second over, 1 for 16.
Grant, can you just finish this slice quickly and I'll be back?
Sure.
Do you want one?
No, sure, thank you. So, striking a blow, the Kangaroos. And even though wicket has fallen, you'd think that honours are somewhat even here because they've managed to take 16 off 2, and they don't require as many as 8 and over, so they're well ahead of schedule. But wickets in hand still vitally important. Nice start, new bowler, new batter. Pick up the name of the new batter in a moment. Just repeating findings by Bloxham for the Kangaroos, 65. One bounce, nice shot, short pitch bowling. Got up and under it while the field's in. Minimal risk. Nearly cleared the boundary rope. 6 runs. 4 runs, I beg your pardon. I'm 2 ahead of myself. 1 bounce into the boundary. Nice shot, Deshi. It's going to find the fielder. That's out. That's the second wicket just after hitting a nice pull shot over square leg. He paddles one square straight to gully on the circle, and that's the end of Deshi. 2 for 20. The Sydney Mavericks and the Kangaroos now are on top. It was about now that the Kangaroos had Chetton and Bloxham came together and they paddled the ball around for 4 runs and over, and until they started to build momentum again in the innings. And I'm feeling that's exactly what we need to see happen by the Sydney Mavericks now. We need a partnership only into the second over, well ahead of the run rate, just under 12, and now we have a new batter on strike. That was the end of Deshi at 15. And so this shorter pitch bowling attack or plan by the Kangaroos, it's risk and reward. The reward picking up 2 wickets, and the risk is that it is allowing the cross-back shot. So we've got 2 new batters down at the crease, Raza and Samuel, and plenty of overs to go, and a total that is manageable, but not if they keep losing wickets. Shorter pitch bowling doing the job here for the Kangaroos at the moment.
That was quicker than expected by the batter and also curtailed his options. It's a length that usually screams dead bowling, doesn't it?
A nice variation. The new batter in's been seeing the ball drop short. So what do? Surprise him. Let's pitch one up.
Work to do for the fielder in the deep. Good running between the wickets. It's a beautiful outfield, this.
It's a beautiful ground.
And compared to the ACL T20 we had in Melbourne,
That's
the under-19 one.
Yes, it certainly is.
Oh, we had in Noosa, correction.
Noosa was lovely.
Noosa, Brisbane, yeah. this outfield's even quicker.
Yep. Then we had that big storm in Noosa, and we still recovered and got a full game in, which can happen in
You've
in
used
Queensland.
the dreaded word.
No,
You've used the dreaded word.
no, I brought the sunshine as soon as it came. And nice square driving there by Razza. His nice little start there. See, yeah. Now I'm going to stick with that.
Into the over. 22 now on the board.
So that's a nice start, but I'm actually I think I'd like to be in the Kangaroos' shoes at the moment, because
I
picking up those 2 wickets. But this certainly cries out for Razza and Samuel to do same thing that Chetan and Bloxham did and build a partnership.
It's a matter of one partnership, isn't it? 2 partnerships, rather. 136. 136 is 2 partnerships.
Now let's just see if the Kangaroos are bowling a plan here with this shorter pitch bowling. So no width. That certainly wasn't short. That was full pitch, let go by the batter, which does show some intent that they're going to play each ball on their merits here, not go for the big shot. Now don't forget, we've got fielding restrictions, and at the moment there are only 2 out, so there's plenty of room outside of the circle.
This is very good field setting. The reason I say that is because his favourite shots are guaranteeing him only 1 run.
I know that coach Dave Taylor's a really deep thinker about the game, and then likes to think laterally about it. As I was saying to you, for him it's a matter of not about the conditions if you win the toss, but knowing what you feel that you do better and playing to your strength. Like if you think that you're a chasing side, or you like to set a total.
Oh, beautifully played. The fielder was just moved, and now he's playing with the field. This for me is the shot of the day.
And I like the way you're thinking there, Suhas, because that was using the pace of the ball. It required a lot of skill, getting just the right amount of bat and gliding, and he wasn't that far away, the third man, but there was no stopping that ball. Nice shot.
Soft hands and a single taken. This is marvellous cricket. And the Kangaroos have been caught on the hop.
Oh, I saw what you did there. I like that, Suhas.
Oh, the Mavericks. Excellent this. First they got the boundary, and then without wasting any time, offering it soft hands, taking the fielders on inside the circle and picking up a single. That's not the best delivery that he's got. And the batter is kicking himself that he didn't put that away.
Leg bye. So they're keeping the 2 fielders. The 2 fielders they're allowed outside the circle at deep fine man and deep third man, which is supporting this shorter pitch bowling theory. But the last few balls have certainly been good length balls. Just like that. Extremely hard to hit that anywhere but where he did. That's the over. And it's an even Steven game at the moment. I think it's no one clearly got their nose in front. It's brewing. It's brewing to be a very close game. Well, as you said, Suhas, we've already had a tied game which required the deciding over, which was, what, a seven run chase. that they didn't get. Wow. That's good bowling, isn't it?
Yeah, and the Kangaroos then eventually, with the man who has the ball in hand, eked out a win in the super over.
Now here's our man. Is this our man Bloxham? It is. Left arm orthodox. Left arm orthodox. Let's see what he does. Batted extremely well. Round the wicket.
That's the slowest ball that Bloxham has bowled in 3 overs put together, including the few overs he bowled in the previous game. He was darting it in the super over.
Wow. Yep.
All arm balls.
Just got the feeling he's not going to be a big turner of the ball, and we'll rely on that sort of line and length arm ball to be effective. No need to panic here for the Sydney Mavericks. I'd certainly be reducing risk and just playing each ball on its merits, working it around, picking up the singles, pick up the odd boundary if you get a loose ball.
Well controlled.
Just adjusting the field now, bringing a deep square leg into play in case of a drag down and a deep long on. Because of the field restrictions, the rest of the players are in the circle. Two for 33 now the score. Samuel on 2, Razak 10. Quicker ball, jammed him up. Managed to squeeze one onto the leg side. So 4 overs down, 2 for 34. Nice little consolidation here now by the Mavericks. Nice over. 2 for 35. So at the same stage, the Kangaroos were 2 for 22. So 13 runs ahead, the Sydney Mavericks. Same number of wickets. 2 for 35. Samuel on 3, Raza on 11. 11 off 9. So just controlling their innings at the moment, and that's what's required. Let's take a look at what they're doing with the field here now. Taking away the slip that was in play. We've got the deep fine leg, the deep cover. Chetan, who batted so nicely into bowl. And he'll just be looking at that line and length, Chetan. At one stage I thought he was slowing his team's innings down, and then he just found another gear. And then another gear again, and then assisted the team to post this 135. Let's see if he can do it with the ball. Down the ground. That's just going to hold up in the outfield, and two runs. Raza 13, Samuel 3.
Deep inside the crease to access the gap better. This is good thinking. And that might just have enough to reach the fence.
You know, I didn't think that he actually got any of all of that, but you're right, he just got back into the crease and swung hard and got enough of it to get it square. 4 runs.
We're giving that one. Again, a boundary early on in the over is always important.
Well, it leaves some pressure, doesn't it? You're not chasing that boundary the whole time, and I agree with you. What I think actually happens is you start.
Grant. 1 second less on.
The Kangaroos need to find a way to pick up their 5th wicket. Earlier the better for them.
Interesting field placement too. They've only got a deep mid-wicket, deep fine leg and deep third man.
I'm very surprised that Parthen has missed this one, because he loves to play the stroke over point. He was visibly agitated with himself.
Yeah, certainly a missed opportunity. They've gone back to the short pitch bowling again.
He's got to re-bowl this one.
Short pitch and wide. So after 9 overs at 4 for 57. The Mavericks, if they can just hold together a partnership, they're quite a long way in front. At the same stage, the Kangaroos were 3 for 43. So at 4 for 58, they're well ahead of schedule, but they have got that 1 wicket extra back into the dressing room. That's better after losing his radar, back in, jamming in close. No width. A total of 135. You're certainly not looking to give away. You don't want to give away any extras at any time.
Testing outside off seems to be the order of the day.
Testing the umpire too, Suas, because I think he had a long look at that one.
This will be a wide delivery. Now with a final in third man in place and there is a point in place. Of course, a point in third man, the huge gap that's offered between that is what he's trying to aim at. Martins. The slower delivery. If only LBW decisions are decided by decibel levels.
That would have been well and truly out. Not sure exactly what that was doing being side on, but height was no trouble at all because I'm square on. So may have just been doing it either outside off or swing and a miss and another wide. Now this is where Bloxham and needs to just go up and just have a chat to the young man. Calm him down. That's what I think he's doing now, just having a chat. Get the radar back on course, which he does there, and that'll be a leg by. Four for 61.
Very good stop. Didn't allow the opposition to even think of a single. End of the over with some fielding brilliance. 61 for 4.
So that's the end of the 10th, and they're going to have another mini break now. So I've got 3 for 43, the Kangaroos. At the same time, 4 for 61, the Sydney Mavericks. And you just got a sense that this is going to be one of those games where it's hard to get a clear leader. But at the moment, certainly on the strengths of runs, the Mavericks are in really good shape. So I'd say the discussion will be around partnerships here through to the 15th over, a reset. Now, at the 15th over, the Kangaroos were only 84. So these are the types of stats and the types of understandings that the chasing side needs to be aware of to know that there's no need to panic, there's no need to take unnecessary risks. because they do have the runs in hand, but maybe there's an issue with the wickets if you keep losing them. Well, there will be, of course. So, long way to go yet in this game. 10 overs. And Suez, what do you make of the tournament so far? Who's sort of standing out in your mind as a potential favourite to go through to finals and maybe even win it?
They lost today, but Pakistani Sultans pack a punch. They have a bowling unit with watertight technique when it comes to pace bowling, and the batting has to click. It's been an Achilles heel for them in a couple of tournaments per se, but if they can correct that, which I think they will in crunch moments, it's game on. And also be very prepared for Afghanistan to surprise you and pleasantly surprise you. Afghanistan Eagles have quite a unit.
Wow, I'm looking forward to that next. That's in their next game against India. But as I was saying earlier, I love the story that I saw on social media of the group going over to do the selection trials for the Pakistani side and the Indian side, and the fact that there were some families had travelled long distances and taken a long time to actually get there, as serious as they were taking their opportunity to come and be part of this great tournament and come over here and play over in Australia. It was really quite heartwarming to see the great lengths that people will go to come and be part of this great game and this competition with the ACL. But Dave was saying that right from the word go, they got all the bowlers to bowl 6 balls each. And they said to them, I just want you to show me bowl, you want you to bowl line length. So you got 6 balls. So they all lined up and they bowled their 6 balls. And then for the next 6 balls, they went and said, right, show us your 6 variations. So they did that. And then after hundreds of players had gone through the process, the bowling process and the batting process, they then said, righto, now we're going to put 2 teams of 14 in the middle and play a game. And from that, they ended up with their playing squad. So again, it's so nice to see that there was process involved. There were really nice ways of determining who should go to this next level and ultimately represent their team. So it seems to me like it was done in a really fair and a really reasonable way. And the other thing I really enjoyed seeing, Suresh, you may have done this, but actually they moved from the Pakistan border into the Indian border. Now for us, that's just fascinating to see that.
I've never done this, but I'd love to do this though.
Really?
Yeah. I've never visited Pakistan per se.
That's fascinating. For I love that all of those sort of cross-country situations and how that process went about, and then they went and did a similar process in India. So the players that have come over here have gone through a really professional experience. They've come over to play in this tournament, and terrific conditions, great area. And there goes Harry, who has organised all of this with a good team of people behind him, and he does it for the love of cricket and gives this wonderful opportunity for young people to be part of the great game. Back to the cricket, Suhas. And our leggy. Nice start after the break. 4 for 61.
Leg spinner always gets you excited. Is it because keeping to them becomes just the right kind of challenge? Did you pick them, or were there leggies that you didn't pick, let alone the batters?
I wish we could have worn a helmet, to be honest. Well, we could have, of course, but it sort of wasn't done. Square cut, misfield. That's going to run away, and that's going to go for 4.
There's nothing more painful for a fielder to chase it all the way to the end, only to escort the ball.
Yeah, that's a misfield, but oh no, the ultimate is to be able to keep to quality spin bowling, and it's the lovely thing about being a keeper is you are always in the game, but when the spinner comes on, that opportunity for a stumping and reading the ball is really special. Bowling with nice control here.
Oh, got hold of this one, has he? No, fielder puts it down. That was pretty straightforward. Can't even say that the sun was in his eye, the sun was elsewhere.
And the person I really feel for there is the bowler, who's worked so nicely to draw that false shot. It wasn't a great ball, but that doesn't matter. He's bowled 5 terrific balls, and unfortunately, well, let's go down over 11 or go down in this game because there was a misfield for 4 and a drop catch, which has got a feeling is going to play a part in the end result.
It is so painful for the bowler when a catch of that kind is put down in a crucial moment of the game. You got to feel for the fielder too, Jai.
Oh, I was going to say that too, Suresh. It's definitely the fielder that he wants to find a big hole and try and jump in it. And most cricketers will tell you there's few things more painful in a game than dropping a catch.
It's good to see him cheer up others as well.
Yeah.
He's quickly forgotten it.
Yep. No, he's staying. Look, he's sort of, you can, yeah, but you're right, Suresh. He's got to move on from it. Take the next one. If you don't move on for it, you drop the next one. The ball starts following you for some reason in cricket when you start making mistakes. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets to field the next ball. Fortunately, I'm wrong. Out there to deep mid-wicket. It was a bit of a drag down. This is an extravagant run in. I like the look of this. This is a nice long. He's number 7 for the Kangaroos. Here we go. Drops down. A lot of Dennis Lilly in this. Drops down, drags down.
68 for 4. At the start of this over, I thought with the current rate at 7, required rate around 6.5, they'd be discussing how to get 6 singles without taking additional risk, especially against this particular bowler.
Well, exactly right.
But that hasn't been the case. They've gone for shots. Trying to throw him off the length. Oh, fabulous fielding. That ball was travelling for 4.
Suresh, you're so right. You've just broken that down into nice simple terms. All we need is 6 singles, which you can do with basically no risk in this game. And this is another reason, even though they could have many more players outside the circle, they're keeping their players, most of their players inside the circle. They could have 5 players out. They've only got, well, they've got 4. So they're keeping that extra fielder inside. Again, this is all about building pressure. because at the moment the run rate is getting away from the Kangaroos, so they still do need it. Now they're dropping a fielder back at deep long off. Not willing to risk this.
Soft hands and a good single. Always tease the fielders inside the circle. That's been his principle.
So the deep mid-off, you'd feel is every chance they're in play. Key will be to keep the ball up so they can't hit square. And that's what he does. He drops short, unfortunately, but finds the fielder. It's one of the nice shot for one. And fortunately, the bowler got away with that on that occasion. 4 for 73. Samuel 15. Parthenis 7.
.73 for 4 in 12 overs. Now that's the kind of recovery they wanted. The Kangaroos. They need a wicket at this stage. The Mavericks were 3 wickets down in the power play in the first 6 overs. In the next 6 overs, they've lost just 1 wicket and added almost as many runs.
Yes. And if the cycle of this game continues, there'll be another wicket fall soon, just as we feel that the Mavericks have got things in hand and are on top. The wicket goes. Building pressure, nice. A lot of courage being shown by the captain. Let's keep them in, stay offside line. Make them push through the gaps. Find the pockets in the field on the offside. Oh, well bowled.
Ah, well. You can't plan for a shot of that kind either.
Well, what he did do, Suhas, that's gone for byes, but he got above the eye line. And as soon as you get above the eye line, that makes it a different shot for the batter. Notoriously, they'll go for a swing. Gee, I enjoy watching this bowling. I'd be inclined to keep that fielder in on that offside, because, as you said, Suhas, they only need a run of ball, and they're going to keep picking that up, whereas if they build pressure, it's the wicket that's required here. And that'll be a leg by, I think you'll find. And it is leg by umpire. Samuel 16, Parthenis 7. Floats the ball up, couple of steps down, punches down the onside, and that's the end of the over. Interesting decision here to go back to the medium pacer. I think it's so important that he keeps the ball up and there's no drag down, because the wicket has been terrific cricket wicket, but it's just dying down a little bit now in its second day.
Running the first one hard, but I think he's only going to get one. He had timed it too well. He knows that.
Yeah, that was lovely timing. Right in at his legs. So what they've done a little change up here. They've taken deep, long on back and brought deep, long off into that routine mid-off area. Push, run.
Good single that. I think this phase is playing out exactly like the phase that Kangaroos had to go through, with Bloxham and Chetan mending the innings in between.
Yes, I agree. It's looking very much like what we saw from the Kangaroos with that really nice partnership.
Oh, direct hit is required and Bloxham has missed it. At least had a shy of the stumps.
That would have been what I would call caught mid-wicket. Because that's about as far as the runner got. He got caught about middle of the wicket. So that would have been well and truly out. And as it was, they got another run. So that was the moment, wasn't it? Just when the Kangaroos needed that wicket. It was so close.
Is there anything that Bloxham could have done differently there? I thought that the batter had very little chance to get there in time, so Bloxham could have taken one more step forward before getting the throw in.
Okay, yeah, right. I think you're probably
or
right.
Or change the angle a little bit, but he was on the move as well, and from there he could see what, 1.5 stumps?
Yep. Yep. Yeah, gee, that's that under pressure stuff, isn't it? Where you just say, right, I'm going to take an extra half second here. It could make a difference. Dad.
Oh, well done.
You know, there's a level 3 coach to us in Queensland that coached, you should get a run every ball. Unless there's a bloke standing in a dangerous spot right there. See how they just ran? He just had this theory that if you both go, don't cheat, don't go across the line before you should. But if you do that, just exactly what they did there. That was such good running.
Good running. 2 easy runs in the end.
Because you and I saw it first today. A bye to the keeper stand. Have you ever seen anything like that before? A bye to the keeper standing up.
And the throw was at the non-striker's end with the spinner bowling. Raj, I still cannot believe it. Raj did collect the ball. It's not like he left it. Still that run was taken.
Gee, it's now line ball again because on the 15th, so we're only on the 14th over, this is the 15th over, but the Kangaroos were 3 for 84, and so I've now got the Mavericks 1 over ahead, only 1 over ahead. They were 2 overs ahead, now they're only 1 over ahead because they're basically at the same score, but 1 over ahead. So this is going down to the wire. A wicket here could be absolutely game-changing.
Oh, well,
he's given him.
Go for it.
There you go. Big wicket. The leggy pitches the ball up. Stump to stump. And that is such good bowling. I so enjoy watching this quality leg spin bowling.
Pathanis departs. His long stay has come to an end. Just when he had to get going. And partnership broken.
And it was at this stage that Chetton and Bloxham had really sort of dug in and said, we're going to do this ourselves. We're not going to let our teammates out here to do this. Let's do it ourselves. And they got the innings right to about over 18 before they lost a wicket. This is so tense to get to this stage, and they've got their noses in front, the Mavericks, but wickets in hand. It could very well make the difference here. Gee, he didn't hesitate, the umpire. He just pinged us straight up. One of those pitching in line, hitting in line. And look at the breeze there now. The breeze has swung around. It's now coming from the west. We've now got a westerly, which is helping the leggy drift away from the right-handed batter. And Omar, I like the way he started. Omar can hold a bat. Samuel on 23 is well set. So the conversation mid-wicket needs to be about not losing your head here. Head down. Oh, never run on a misfield, but this time it just comes off. Thumbs up, he said. Yes, I'm with you, Omar says. And that's a lovely piece of bowling. Quality leg spin bowling. This is a perfect breeze coming from the west. Down the ground for one. And that would bring us to one ball left before we hit that 15 over mark. And it's now shifting towards favour Kangaroos. Dragged down straight to the fielder at backward square, and that's the end of the over. Five for 90. 5 for 90. The Sydney Mavericks. At the same time, the Kangaroos were 3 for 84. So the Mavericks are just ahead on runs, but they are 2 wickets behind on wickets. You'd still like to think that your final 5 can do the job. Requiring now 46 to win. 46 to win, 4.6. As Sir says, we only need a run and over. So what do the Kangaroos do? Do they keep their field back, save the boundary and give up the single? Or do they put more pressure by bringing fielders into the circle?
The Mavericks, you also have to understand that the Mavericks batting has disappointed them a couple of times. They would want to believe that this is the partnership that will seal the deal.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying there. You want to take responsibility. If you are the 2 batters out there, you don't want to let any of the rest of your teammates in, because you want to take responsibility for this yourself.
Very right, Grant. The biggest problem for them is the Dil Raja's dip in form.
Oh, this is a really good start for the Kangaroos. Started the 16th over. And it just looks as like he's trying to maintain quality control. Feel a risk could be in the air here by the Mavericks. Risk or reward? Is there a boundary? I think. So this brings Omar on strike. The new batsman, he's only on 2. Hasn't faced too many balls. The 2 he's faced, he's looked very solid. So he can hold a bat. Square. Finds the fielder. That could have easily gone through this. He found the only fielder on the leg side inside the circle. So that's good field placement by the captain of the Kangaroos. Now he's going to keep the ball up because he's bringing deep fine leg up. No short. Keep it up, the captain says. And he doesn't.
Very well done. I think he was watching every move of the opposition captain. Knew exactly where the fielders were.
As they say, it's one thing to have a plan, it's the other thing to have to execute it. And now the captain goes over and says, mate, I think we really needed to pitch that one up. And that was a well executed, that's that slog sweep type shot from Omar. And he comes back up to the circle again, so the captain doesn't want to see another one short leg.
Or straight to the fielder. Can Angus score this time around? Chooses not to throw.
Apart from the wayward boundary, that was a good over. In the context of the game, 5 for 95. Samuel holding the keys to this innings now on 26, and Omar's impressed me with his little cameo so far. He's looked very solid. Good player. And speak of Chetan, looks like Chetan is coming into the attack now from the northern end for the Kangaroos.
Yeah, the pocket-sized dynamo.
See what they're doing with the field, that sort of that deep fine leg.
Samuel's got 26. Isa Omar has managed 7. Oh, almost converted that into a catch. And then the acrobatics and presence of mind to get up and get the throw in. Simply brilliant.
Good commentating, sir. It's the presence of mind also to say, I'm going to bail when I knew I can't get there to save the boundary. The all-important boundary save. Put his body on the line. Good fielding.
This one's not going to carry. In the kind of form the fielder is in, if it were anywhere closer to him, he would have put it the dive.
And we saw Bloxham in his innings, a couple of mishits, not carrying to the fielder, which was lucky. Same there. Didn't catch it, didn't quite get it, but saved him in the end because it didn't float to the boundary. Brings Samuel back on strike. Keeper up, which is a risk.
Only height, no distance. Blocks him underneath. and Bloxham will pouch it.
Yeah, Bloxham wasn't missing that. As you said, no distance, all height. And there the pendulum swings again. 6 for 98. And I'm just not sure that was required when you need less than a run of ball. He's sprinted out there. He's keen to be there. He's saying to Omar, we'll do it, mate. Come on, we can win this game for our team. So Chetton picks up the all-important wicket of Samuel, the set batter. Good game for Chetton. He said he showed that he had a couple of different gears. And when he pressed the button, he was hitting boundaries and bringing his team to a competitive total. Now he's doing it with the ball. Oh, tell you what, that was a great take. Like, that's 4 wides had he missed it. Good keeping. Really well kept. Oh, Raza gets back. Always 2 in it.
100 comes up.
The 100 comes up, yeah. 6 for 101. Raza and Omar, the 2 batters. Wide. Offside wide. Raza not tempted just to get a bit of bat on that extra ball. No ball.
Oh, remarkable. First, that important stand with Bloxham, scoring 47 himself, picking up 2 crucial wickets, and then again in a crunch moment, bowling an over that will bring his team back into the game. That is Chetan for you. Had to be cheeky. Fine leg inside the circle. I think the shot was on, Grant.
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely on. We haven't seen too many inventive shots so far because really the circumstances really haven't called for them, given that the run chase seemed to be in hand. It's just the wickets column which is causing some trouble for the Mavericks. Chasing 136. 33 required. And we're coming into the 17th over. And Bloxham has swung himself around now to the southern end. Stepping up to bowl the really important overs when it counts. He's bowling left arm over. And we got Raza on strike.
Very cheeky again. And very elegantly done. The flurry of boundaries coming towards the end. This is Raza Rampage.
Raza Rampage just working with the angle. He only had to be a couple of centimetres off his target, and that was enough. A beautiful shot. Really good shot. And that's going to cause a rethink amongst the Kangaroos. Still have the fielder at short, fine leg. You watch how far outside off stump this one goes. Won't be leg stump this one. And that's what happens when you stay outside off stump. That is such good batting. Raza. Now, I'm going to suggest to you that that was preempted. I'm also going to suggest to you that once he picked up a lovely boundary down leg, that was the only place that ball was going to go, was well outside off. And that's fantastic batting. 6 for 111. Can Raza bring this home for his team, the Mavericks?
Back-to-back boundaries.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The big bloke, as he was going down to pick up, it looks like it was a knee. And I hope I'm wrong. So, no. Batted so well, has bowled well. Now, what is he touching? Is he touching an ankle or is he touching a knee? Grabbing at that. Out comes Coach Taylor. Could be one of those grippy where you do your ankles, you sort of just grip and it, you know. Oh, he's not jumping up, the big bloke, but he's getting some water into him. So, look, wouldn't it be great if it was just a cramp or something like that? Let's hope that's nothing too serious. Probably the player of the tournament so far. Bloxham. Yeah, it may just be that it just gripped there for... Yeah, no, he's right. He's back.
That's the good news. That's the good news they wanted to hear.
That's good news for the tournament. It's good news for his team, the Kangaroos. No, he's right. Must have been something magic in that water they gave him. Let's see if that puts Raza off his concentration. No. Oh, this is getting tight. 17th over. 6 for 112. 34 required of 3 in a bit. Beg your pardon, 20.
Oh, well, he's hit it straight to the fielder inside the circle and still taking a run.
I'm sorry, we're talking 20 odd runs, so we're talking about 7 and over. Back to Sir's point about a run a ball and a few more.
33 in 18. 10 and over. No, 11 and over.
Tell you and I, Sir's, we're going with our math. So I reckon they need 7 odd, and you reckon they need 11. I'll back you. I reckon you're better at maths than me. Oh, mix up! And that's a fatal mix up. That's a fatal mix up. Was there 2 in it? Now that both the batters are talking to each other and... Seven for 114 now. 22 required. And this is what can happen. This is what happens when pressure starts to build. He batted well. He batted really nicely. But he's frustrated and he's got every right to be. And that brings the new batter to the crease. About 2 overs to go, just over 2 overs. Lihal, the new batter, has gone straight to the non-striker's end because that was the end of the over. So we've got 2 overs now. 22 to win, 11 and over. All of a sudden it's got a lot more difficult for the Sydney Mavericks. And you'd like to think, well, you'd kind of think that if you had wickets in hand at 11 and over at this stage would be possible. Swinging. So Suas, let's take a look at where the boundary opportunities are. I think there's definitely one between deep mid-off and deep cover. There's one here over the top of square leg if he drags down.
Deep mid-wicket. He's setting himself up for a shot through mid-wicket.
Oh, no ball. He's called a no ball. That's a big moment. He's called a no ball. This should be a free hit. Now, what was the no ball for? Was it a front line no ball or was it a fielding restriction no ball? There's the signal. It's a no ball, so it'll be a free hit. Now, talking about big moments, here's one right now.
He's walked towards the bowler. That hasn't helped with timing. Blocks him, ensures it's only a single. All the Mavericks, they need to find a win today.
Kangaroos, what are they doing? They're deep cover, bringing the mid-off up. Opportunity over mid-off. Swinging. One run. And this is where I'd like to think if you're seeing them and you're in form, as Raza seems to be, that you're just using the crease. Maybe shuffling across the crease, changing the line of the bowler, giving yourself opportunity. Premeditate. Where do you want this ball to go? Where are the opportunities?
Got him. That hits Timber. And he picks up yet another wicket. Surely my contender for the player of the match.
Yes, I think you're right there. And that just sort of, he didn't commit, did he? He bamboozled himself. He, one stage was going to reverse and then he changed his mind and then he was going to swing, and there was a little bit of confusion going on in his head. Once you're going to commit to these reverses or ramps or switch hits, you can't kind of pull out of them like he did just then. Commit and go, and unfortunately he didn't commit and he's gone. And that's now the 8th wicket, 118. So there's around about 9 balls remaining. And what's that? About still well and truly possible, chasing 136. 18 off 9, so they're 2 runs a ball. Couple of boundaries, so the new batter, Reham on strike, left-hander, swinging, missing. So important. This is where the Raza goes down and says to Reham, whatever we do, we must make some form of connection. Connect with the ball. You never know, you could snick it for 4. Down leg, there's a wide. They'll get a re-bowl. 119, 8 for 119. Chanham did it with the bat, now doing it with the ball. He's given him. Shaped to play that down leg side. Must have been enough. Stump to stump. And that's out. And so are the Mavericks, very close to being out, unless there's a real cameo coming here. That's 17 required off the last. I can't see that happening with only one wicket in hand, but funny things have happened. While there's life, there's a possibility. Just feeling that it was the Kangaroos that held their nerve longer in this game and put that all down to that partnership between Bloxham and Chatham. At one stage looked to be going nowhere with their innings, but they knew what they were doing. That's twice now they've done it, Saras was telling me. And now, as luck would have it, they're the last two bowlers to bowl for the Kangaroos. One wicket, 17 runs. Swinging.
Should be taken.
Should be taken. He's missed it. And I think that's gone for 6.
And it's also gone.
I think
The distance, I think. Angus.
I think I've got a feeling that nearly took him out. I think he lost.
अगला टॉस हो गया या फिर बाजी अगला टॉस हो गया या फिर हो गया कौन जीता
India.
India.
India for batting first.
Welcome to the post-match presentation, ACL Under-19, the Battle of the Yellows. The Kangaroos taking on the Sydney Mavericks, and the Kangaroos holding on to their nerve, finally winning this one as well. They have a thing for close games, don't they? Without further ado, let me introduce you at the post-match presentation. We have Grant O'Hara, my lovely co-commentator, and ACL's very own Grant O'Hara. Grant, if you can assume your position here. He'll be giving away the player of the match in a moment's time. Let's have a chat with the captain who came second, Nihal Desai of the Mavericks. Well, Nihal, again, the lack of a start perhaps, because this target achievable with the kind of batting prowess you've got.
Yeah, 100%. We just didn't have a great start with our batting today. Yeah, it was just a tough start with the bat.
As far as the bowling is concerned as well, do you think there were moments where you could have owned the game?
Yeah, definitely. After that first 10-over period where there were only 3 wickets down for 40, we should have probably squeezed a bit harder there, but we kind of got to let it get away.
3 games, all different mistakes. That shall please you at least. If the results are not in your favor, always a learning curve.
Yeah, we had 3 fantastic games of cricket, honestly, and they're all close, so I hope we gave you guys something good to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard luck, but all the very best for the next season then.
Thank you so much. Yeah, great being here.
Nihal Desai, the captain of the Mavericks. It's time now to talk to the winning skippers. Can we have the skipper of the Kangaroos, Savar? Well, congratulations, Savar. The boys did it again. But there were some crunch moments in the game for you as well. What did you tell the boys at that time? Because it feels like you've given certain bowlers the license not just set their own field, but also given their inputs even if they're not in the attack.
Yeah, look, it was not much of a big target, so I had to set my small fields. I told them, be calm, be patient, the game will come to us, they will get themselves out. So it's just about staying calm, having composure, and just waiting for the game to come to us.
You were in trouble in between as well, and at that time, one partnership, Tanish Chetan, and once again, it's Angus. At that point of time, it looked like 120 was par with this kind of a surface?
Yeah, look, the pitch was really, really slow at the start, very spongy, so I think one thing we could have taken away was just give us time at the start, which Tanishka and Angus did. They played it very well because at the start it was swinging, bouncing. So it played out pretty well, but when we bowled, it was really, really flat and it hardened up. So it wasn't their advantage, but we kept our strength.
And finally, did it cross your mind that if the last ball crosses the fence, it's a super over once again?
Yeah, look, I didn't want to go there again, so I was hoping not. Angus kept his cool again, and yeah, happy to be in the semi-finals.
Terrific win. Congratulations on qualifying as well. All the best for the semis.
Thank you.
Savar, the skipper of the Kangaroos. Let's give away silverware now for the player of the match. I request Grant O'Hara to give away this beautiful trophy to Tanishq Chetan, 47 with a bat in hand, involved in a crucial partnership. And then 4 important wickets as well. Congratulations, Tanishq. Now, we've been calling you the pocket-sized dynamo. How easy is it to be batting with Angus, and what's the chat in between as well?
Just hit the gaps, take ones, hit the bad balls, and then, yeah, try and make a big score, whatever we can. That's it.
These 47 runs, you had a set template, you could say. You were running the first ones hard to try and put pressure on the fielders in the deep. Ones converted into twos, and suddenly you started launching the boundaries as well. How did you shift gears, and was there clear communication to do so?
Yeah, just coach told me to just start hitting the ball because I was dodging up. But yeah, so I was like, took it in and thought I was just hitting some sixes because I want to go away hitting some sixes before I end this tournament.
Yeah.
Just,
okay.
Yeah, like that.
So you had it like a box to be ticked off. And then with the ball in hand, just the final question, you had with the ball in hand as well, looks like you were developing this love affair with timber. That seems to be quite a template to follow as well, wicket to wicket?
Yeah.
Yeah. A man of few words, but more wickets. Congratulations on the player of the match. All the best for the semis. Well, the player of the match in the Battle of the Yellows, it was Tanishq Chetan. That's all we got for you from the post-match presentation. The Battle of the Yellows will give way now to the Battle of the Blues. The Indian Tigers are taking on the Afghanistan Eagles. We'll meet you shortly as that game will begin soon.